Alright, so welcome back. So we're currently on Field Study Day 3 of Chapter 5. We need to go to Gorelia Fortress now, so let's go to the train station as I keep opening the map over and over and over to figure out where I'm going. Hello, friends. Alright. To the station we go. We still have a little time before the next train leaves. What should we do? It might be best to just wait in the station until the train arrives. We'll wait in the station? Yeah, let's go wait inside. We need to buy our tickets for the trip to Gorelia Fortress too. Hey Eustace, wanna buy me some snacks? Buy your own food. Lively as ever, I see. Let's head on in then. Ooh, I could see the castle there for a second. Wait, it's gone again. Well, the forest is quite dense around here. Still, I saw a lot of weird things in that castle. It was one thing after another from the moment we walked through the door. What are you looking at me for? Never mind. That was pretty great. Do you all have this much fun on your field studies? I just wish it was a little longer. Those 2 days went by so quickly. Well, the field study isn't over. We're on our way to the next location, so don't relax yet. It looks like I must say farewell to Legram once again for the time being. I wasn't expecting to, but I can't help but feel a little homesick already. I can understand why. It was a really welcoming place. I didn't ever get the sense that social classes were keeping people apart. True. It seems like a place that we nobles could learn much from. I'd definitely like to visit it again in the future. It would be great to bring Fee and the others next time too. You're all more than welcome in Legram anytime. I can only hope I'll continue to learn and grow between now and when I next return. After leaving Legram, we changed trains at Breahard Station and rode the Cruisin' Mine Line north, headed toward Keldic. Alright, let's go over our schedule again. We're currently en route to Keldic, where we'll rendezvous with Group B. From there, we'll take the Transcontinental Railroad to Gorelia Fortress on the Empire's eastern border. Gorelia Fortress is one of the Imperial Army's largest strongholds. It's sometimes referred to as the wall that protects the nation from the threat of the Calvard Republic. I've heard it's ludicrously gigantic, almost an icon for military excess. It also houses the 2 railway guns and has a military exercise ground on the premises. Weren't those the weapons that Gwyn said he regretted constructing? Yeah, they're the 2 massive orbital cannons pointing toward the east at Calvard. Or more specifically, they're aimed at the buffer zone between us and them, Crossbell State. They are pretty crazy, yeah. It's like you're looking at a mountain of iron. I was pretty overwhelmed when I first saw them. Wait, you've actually seen the railway guns in person? Yep, Gramps took Claire, Lecter, and me to see them this one time. These are the mightiest weapons wrought by the hands of man since the Great Collapse. I want you to consider what it means that such weapons have been placed here. Well, something like that anyway. To consider what it means. He has a flair for the dramatic, I'll give him that. Come to think of it, today's the day, isn't it? The day that the Chancellor is scheduled to depart for Crossbell with Prince Oliver. Guess the trade conference kind of snuck up on us, huh? I think that's where Lecter's going too. I want to go to Crossbell too. There's supposed to be this really famous theater group there, and they have a huge theme park, right? That's what I've heard, though you probably know more about it than I do. Apparently, Student Council President Toa is going as part of the entourage to further her studies. Really? She never fails to impress. I hear she's been getting different job offers from a bunch of companies, ready to hire her right after graduation. Well, she does merit the high esteem people lavish on her. She's the pride of the Academy. All passengers disembarking here in Caldic, please exit the platform via the bridge. The bridge! I repeat, do not approach the rope barriers on platform 1. Passengers wishing to travel to on the Transcontinental Railroad, please wait on platform 2. What's going on here? All the security feels kind of ominous. It seems the railway military police are guarding the opposite platform. Yeah, I wonder if...
Well, isn't this quite the coincidence?
Captain Claire!
It's Claire! Did you come to see me?
Just a coincidence, I'm afraid. Eisengraf will be passing through here soon, so this station's operating under heightened security.
Oh, right!
Still, I'm happy to see you again. It's been, what, 2 months since I last saw you?
She really is attached to Captain Claire. Yeah, almost like sisters. Hard to believe both of them are Ironbloods. At any rate, good day everyone. Let me thank you again for all your help during the recent crisis in Heimdall. Don't worry about it. We simply did our duty as citizens of the Empire. More importantly, what's the meaning of all this extra security? And what is this Eisengraf you mentioned? As in iron count, right? You see what I mean soon enough. A special express train will momentarily be passing by platform 1. This train will be passing through at high speed, so travelers on the platform are advised to exercise caution. A special express train? It couldn't be... right on time. There's Toa, and there's Prince Oliver. Well, that's not foreboding at all. At all. So that was Eisengraf. Come to think of it, I've heard rumors of a special Crimson train. It's supposedly reserved for use by members of the Imperial government. I've been on it before, it's really fast. It's pretty fancy inside too. The Eisengraf, or the Iron Count in the common parlance, was so titled in honor of Chancellor Osborne himself. Well, I do hear him called the Blood and Iron Chancellor all the time, so I can understand the iron part. But isn't the Chancellor a commoner by birth? He is indeed. However, he was granted the title of Count by His Majesty when he was made Chancellor 11 years ago. Supposedly, that's what led to the train being given its name shortly thereafter. I see. I doubt he, of all people, sees any worth in titles or peerage. Reen? Yeah? Is something bothering you? Your attention seems elsewhere. Still feeling tired after yesterday? No, not really. I just happened to catch a glance of Toa and Prince Oliver on the train as it passed by. Wow, I'm surprised you could even make them out. You must have hawk's eyes to be able to see them when the Eisengraf whooshed by so quickly. No, it was probably just a coincidence. It was more than just a glance, though I could see them clearly in detail. What was that just now? Well, as long as you're not feeling unwell. We would like to thank all passengers for their cooperation with today's security measures. Transcontinental Railway service bound for Crossbell State, now arriving on Platform 2. Here it comes. Yeah, looks like we didn't have to wait long after all. Hey, there they are. Reen, over here. Come on, we haven't got all day. We saved you some seats. Well, if you'll excuse us, Captain. See you later, Claire. Of course, have a safe trip, everyone. Whoa, ho, ho, who's that classy looking babe? I should have just stayed on the train. Now we received word from Squad 08. No unusual movements have been detected near the Twin Dragons Bridge. We've also received word from Squad 21. They report all high-speed armored cars are in position. Understood. Remain vigilant until the Eisengraf is finished passing through. Once it reaches Crossbell City, have all squads switch to Phase D. Yes, ma'am. Are you sure the Imperial Liberation Front will show themselves? They will. I'm certain of it. Are we gonna play Blade with everybody? Probably not. I see, it sounds like Group A had quite an eventful couple of days too. Yeah, though I find it kinda hard to believe you could have seen the ghost of Leanne Sandlot. That's ridiculous. Are you sure you weren't just hallucinating or something? Huh, you can think whatever you like. We totally saw her, I swear. Well, ghost or not, there was definitely someone there besides us. Anyway, that's enough about ghosts and spirits for the time being. I'm more concerned about the affairs of the living, like where Toval and the Radiant Blade Master went. It sounds like Duke Cayenne is up to something too, and he's not someone we can afford to take lightly. We didn't run into anything like that in the Jurai Special Economic Zone, though I guess that makes sense, seeing as it's under the direct control of the Imperial Government and not a noble. I seem to recall that it was annexed 8 years ago, is that right? Yeah, the Empire stitched it up on nice and neat, without much opposition. Now it's prospering as a special economic zone on the coast. Seemed like a pretty lively place. And the revenue generated from taxes there goes directly to the Imperial Government's coffers, instead of the pockets of the nobility. It's hardly a mystery why the reformists think so highly of it. Well, that aside, I'm a little concerned about the upcoming trade conference in Crossbell. Same goes for the Imperial Liberation Front. They've been awfully quiet since the show they put on last month. Now that you mention it, that does seem rather suspicious. Is that related somehow to why we're going to Gorelia Fortress? Well, it's not the main reason, but it's not entirely unrelated. Well, I'll let you look forward to finding out about it when we get to the fortress itself. Anyway, how many of you have passed through Gorelia Fortress by train before? I see. I can't wait to see everyone's first reactions. True. Huh? Why is that? Well, I've seen it in photographs at least. A camera can't really capture how ridiculous it is. Yep, it's supposed to be this macho gateway to the Empire, but it just seems like it's trying way too hard. What's that supposed to mean? Huh, the gateway to the Empire and one of the largest military bases in the country. I look forward to the chance to see it in person then. The train carrying Class 7 continued their ride on the transcontinental line headed toward the east. They passed through the Twin Dragons Bridge, a cruising provincial army base, and several stations later, it was finally time to pass through Gorelia Fortress, which loomed large on the border with Crossbell State. The Ministry of Railways wishes to thank all passengers for their patronage. The next stop is Gorelia Fortress. Gorelia Fortress. This train will stop for 5 minutes. Please be aware that only authorized personnel may disembark at this station. Be advised that all orbital photography is strictly prohibited within the fortress and is punishable by Imperial law. Any attempt at unauthorized recording may result in the confiscation of your equipment or detention by the authorities. Wow, that was kinda... It sounded pretty severe for a train announcement. Well, we are passing through a military facility. I don't think they're being unreasonable. Do you really think that's the issue here? I'm not sure having that be one of the first things foreign visitors hear gives a very good impression of the country. Oh, we're finally here. What in Eidos' name is that? The scale is just... This is Corellia Fortress? The entire place is built from iron and concrete? Just how much money has the army dumped into building all of this? Yep, that's was about as entertaining as I'd hoped. Not that I'm surprised, I thought the same thing when I first saw it. From the crossbow side, all you can see is a cliff though. Yep, but those two railway guns still poke out through it. Hey, instructor. What did you bring us out here to show what else? We're here so you can see the true essence of what makes an army. What comprises the military strength and forms its foundation. And what other place in the Empire has that on display as clearly as here? Who are they? Engineers and tradesmen, mostly. You'll see a lot of them around here. Keeping a fortress this size up and running is a full-time job for more than just the military's people. So it seems. It's almost like it's its own town here. On the other side of this fortress is more or less a straight shot to Crossbell City, right? To think such a bustling center of trade is so close to a massive military facility like this. Yeah, Crossbell City is only about 30 minutes away by train. From the top of the fortress, you can even see the skyscraper where the trade conference is going to take place.
I see you've arrived.
Oh. Instructor Neidhart!
Good morning, Major Neidhart. Instructor Valestein of Thor's Military Academy, homeroom teacher for Class 7. Reporting the arrival of myself and all students in my care.
Acknowledging your arrival at 11:30 hours. Welcome to Corellia Fortress. In addition to my teaching duties at the Academy, I hold the rank of Major in the Imperial Army's 4th Armored Division. I'll be acting as your guide, as well as your instructor for special lectures during your time here at the fortress. Now, if you'll follow me.
Including today, you have 2 days remaining in this month's field study. However, we won't be assigning you any tasks during that time. Instead, you'll be participating in a series of special lectures and a field trip. A field trip here? So what exactly does that entail, instructor? At 1400 hours today, a joint military exercise will be taking place at Corellia's training grounds. The 4th and 5th Armored Divisions will both be participating, and you will be observing it. We're going to watch a military exercise? The 4th Armored Division, huh? The 4th Armored Division is led by none other than Elliot's dad, Lieutenant General Olaf Craig. By all accounts, it's one of the strongest armored divisions in the Imperial Army. And did you know our friend the Major here is the most promising young member? It's true. Moving on. As I said, you'll only be observing this exercise, not actively participating. I imagine that some of you are feeling rather relieved. I imagine that has some of you feeling rather relieved, doesn't it? It does sound like a pretty easy assignment after all. But we'll see how many of you feel the same after experiencing it for yourselves. That's all from me. It's currently 1150 hours. Lunch has been prepared for you in the mess hall. I'd advise you all to eat. Your field trip isn't something to be undertaken on an empty stomach. So, this food. We have salty corned beef, and I think I'm getting a hint of peas from this soup. You could use this bread as a lethal projectile. I do think it wouldn't have hurt to use a few more herbs, or flavors in general. Calling this edible would be generous. I've heard plenty of rumors about the food they serve in the Imperial Army, but I wouldn't have guessed they'd all be true. Huh? I didn't think the food they served in the mess hall at Zender Gate was all that bad, though. I don't think it would kill them to serve something a little more appetizing. This is the exact same thing they served when I came here with my class last year. Probably from the same batch too, by the look of it. Really brings back memories. I was pretty surprised the first time my dad brought me here to eat too. Huh? You guys really think it's that bad? It brings back memories for me too. At least there's some cheese and an apple. The food served in the army makes use of common ingredients that are easy to prepare, preserve, and store. The ingredients used to make all the food on your trays can be easily stockpiled in large quantities. So even if a war were to break out, a meal like this could still be served without any trouble. So that explains it. I see. So the army serves simple foods all the time to avoid the decrease in morale from wartime rationing? Well, not all the time. However, one can think of this food as a philosophical statement from the continent's strongest army, in the sense that it suggests that soldiers should live and work each day as though a war effort depends on them. Every day. So they should be as tense during times of peace as during times of war? Well, it's a bit too much mind over matter idealism for my taste, but it's worth being aware of. And to throw a different perspective in the mix here, the food the provincial army serves is actually pretty good. Good enough that you can't help but wonder how they'd cope if an actual war were to even break out. Well, it's not like serving good food means you have a crappy army. I hear our neighbor Liberal serves up some pretty tasty food in their army. Liberal's army is fairly elite, probably because the threat of being neighbors to the Empire keeps them tense. I feel a little conflicted hearing you say that. Well, these things are all about finding a good balance. Variety is the spice of life, you know. If you eat nothing but dull, bland food all the time, well, you know what they say, you are what you eat. I could do with the fewer of your pithy remarks in my diet, Instructor Valestine. Anyway, as you heard, there's going to be a military exercise at the training ground at 2 in the afternoon today. It's 12:30 right now, so you have an hour to do whatever you like. They'll make an announcement half an hour before, so be sure to listen for it and do whatever it tells you. Understood. So when you say whatever we like, does that mean we can tour the fortress? Of course, you're welcome to roam around as long as you don't poke your nose into any restricted areas. So go ahead and explore. There's plenty worth seeing here, like the command center. Though if you're feeling a little tired from your field studies so far, you're welcome to rest in your rooms. It would be a shame to waste such a valuable opportunity. I suppose that should at least get a general overview of the fortress. And with that, we will take a break here. Next time we'll explore Garrelia Fortress and see if the events that transpired in the prologue happen in this chapter. So as always, thanks for watching. Till next time.